Hello! Welcome to another Witchy... no. Welcome to another episode of Witchy Knits. I'm Shy, I am a witchy person and I knit and I do other crafty things like art and bullet journaling and sometimes crochet and sewing and all the crafty bits basically. But this week I only, as usual, have knitting. It's like the general focus of this podcast. And I talk about other things when I do them. So, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. After my last podcast, I didn't really know what happened, but suddenly, like, that video kind of blew up. I usually get around maybe 40 views, but that one is over 180. And I got a lot of new followers, so hello to all of you, and I'm so glad you chose to follow and see what I make with my time. So thank you so much for following, and for all of you who've been here for a while, thank you for sticking with me and following this as well. With that said, I think we should just jump into what I have this week. Sorry about my hair, I don't know what to do with it at the moment, because it, like, if I have it up, looks like I'm bald because this thing is so dark and my hair is dark, and I don't know, we'll just have to deal with it as it is today. I don't have an awful lot today. I've got a cup of tea, as usual. Today I've got peppermint and licorice root. So that's nice. You grab a cup of tea as well, and we'll sit here for a bit talking about what I have made and what I have not made this week and why I have not made anything. Also, sorry about there being a 2-week gap again between videos. Life is just a lot at the moment. There's a lot going on, which I will mention at the end of the episode. So if you're interested in hearing about what is going on, and you know, as you can tell, I'm not quite as down in the dumps today as I was last time. So if you want to hear about that, stick around until the end, and I will mention some of it, and I will talk more about it when I know more, but I'm not going to say more than that now. But yeah, there might be longer gaps again between episodes for a while, depending on what happens, but I'll try to stick to a kind of regular schedule anyway. This is like totally out of schedule for me as well, because I'm filming on a Tuesday this week. I usually film on Thursdays, but on Thursday I'll be busy and I don't know about tomorrow, so I thought I'd better save it and film today and upload on Friday as usual. Anyway, but yes, what have I done these past 2 weeks, I should say. I have well, where do we start? I have finished one Julvanten Christmas mitten even, by Maja's Manufacture and Raglan. This is a knit along, and if you have watched my podcast for a few episodes and seen the Julvanten, isn't this on the wrong hand? Well, let me tell you, I've got two now, but this one doesn't have a thumb. But this one has just been, you know, done and finished for a while, except for the thumb, because I thought I'd just do both thumbs at the same time. But then on Saturday I was like, heck no, I'm going to just get going with the second one. So I did like that much that day, and then I did that much on Sunday, that much and the thumb yesterday. And yes, this is super big on me. It looks a bit balloony and like but I've got tiny hands. So these actually fit David perfectly, and there's a cat trying to eat the strings coming out of it, but these actually fit David perfectly. David, for the new viewers, if you don't know who that is my lovely fiance. But yeah, these will go to him because they fit him perfectly, and well, they're a bit snug on him because he's got very big hands, but it works, and they will probably stretch a little bit with wear, so quite happy with that. But well, I do actually enjoy the pattern a lot. It's really fun and quite easy to get into, and like the colour work is gorgeous and really fun, like with 3 colours here and there, mostly just 2, and then just no, I love it a lot, and I like how it's turning out, except for how big it is. But the one thing I don't like is, like, it's knit on 3.5mm needles. I don't know what size US that is. I'm so sorry to all of you Americans out there, but 3.5mm. Something makes me want to say 4, but that's probably very off. But anyway, it's knit on that size, so it's quite thick. And the yarn is Letloppy, which is, God, what weight is that? It's Sarin? I need to reference Ravelry real quickly because I do not remember these things. Letloppy is Aran, as I said. Awesome, I know my stuff. But yeah, it's Aran weight, and I mean that goes with that size needle, I guess, but it's just so thick, and knitting with 3 colours at once. And you know, I'm not a particularly loose knitter. I don't knit very tight, and I kind of have average stitches, I think, but it just hurts my hands so much. I think it's the combination with metal needles and this yarn or something, because it's just a bit hard to get off the needles, and like I just grip this needle a bit too tightly with this finger, I think, because everything is just kind of difficult to get going off the needles. That's it. It's a super quick knit because it's such thick yarn and big needles, and kind of an easy pattern, even though it's pretty. But yeah, it just hurts my hands a lot, and I don't really have hands that hurt from doing things that much. So it's a new thing for me that my fingers hurt when I knit, and I don't like it, and I'm afraid I'll go arthritic when I'm older now. But that said, these are fun, I like them. The pattern is by Maja's Manufaktur, and it's a knit along together with Julvanten, which is a Swedish yarn brand. And the pattern is, it has a page on Ravelry, but it's only in Swedish so far. They might translate it, but I don't know. But I mean, it's mitten with a thumb gusset, and you can probably read the charts without knowing the language, so it's pretty simple to just do anyway. I think you should try it if you feel adventurous and like trying to pretend you know Swedish. So this is still a whip, but it's almost done. I will finish this today and then block it, so I have an FO to show you next week. That is the Julvanten. Then I have on my whips, I did start a vanilla sock with my Peppermint Creams yarn from the FibreFox, and I ripped it out and started again. So now I have this much of a sock, but now it's too big instead, so I need to rip this out again. I don't know what to do with this yarn. It's so pretty. I want a pair of socks. I have a pair of socks out of this one. I designed my own pattern, which I call Snow Globe, which I am going to write down and post to people who want to test knit it. If you want to apply for that, write in my Ravelry group. Link is in the show notes below in the description box. Side note, I don't know when I'll get around to actually writing it down, but when I do, I will notify you. But anyway, I did that, and what the heck are you doing? There's a cat here, and he's, ow, playing with things, and it's annoying because you're cramping my style. But yeah, I don't really know what to do with this because I need to rip this out again, and I don't know. I want a pair of socks in this, but I also want to do something else, but I don't know what, because I've only got like 58 or 60 something grams. I mean, it's enough for a pair of socks for me, because evidently it is, because my other pair only ate up 40 something. Maths are hard, they're not my forte, I cannot do that math in my head right now, but it ate less than half the skein, and I've got this much left, so I know this is a pair of socks, but I don't know what to do with it. If you've got any sock pattern suggestions that would fit a self-striping but in very thin stripes yarn that you can also knit in a smaller gauge, or well, with fewer stitches than 64, because that's enormous in me, give a description, give a suggestion, give a suggestion please in the comments or in the thread about the podcast episode, because I am at a loss and I don't want to make a third pair of Hermione socks just yet. So yeah, I've got that going on my needles, but it's I'm going to rip this out again because it's just too big, and I want to make these for me because I'm a selfish knitter like that. But yes, that is that, and I am also still working on my improv sweater. But I am almost done. You can't see the bottom of the body, but I'm almost done with the ribbing at the bottom. I think I'm going to do maybe an inch more or something, and then I'm going to go on to sleeves. I was planning to get to sleeves before the episode, but I opted to film today instead of knitting. Well, I will be knitting later, but I'm also waiting for the mailman to arrive with a ton of cat sand, like cat litter, and some cat food, and I don't want to be in the middle of a road or something. I don't know what I was going to say. I completely lost track of thought there. But yeah, that's my improv sweater. That's a pattern by Karen Templer. Oh, I forgot to say, the sock is that it has no pattern. It's from my head. It's just a regular vanilla sock with 1x1 ribbing. But yes, this is after the improv guide / pattern by Karen Templer, which tells you how to improvise a sweater. So that's what I'm doing, and yeah, I really like this colour. Every time I see it in the camera I'm like, ooh, it's so nice actually. And I'm not an orange person, so I don't know why, but it's just, I like it. Anyway, that's that one. It's knit out of Kampes 2-ply wool yarn. It's a sport weight yarn, and it is gorgeous and looks like an orange. I want to eat it. So yeah, those are my whips. I was going to have 2 FOs today, but I only have 1, and I have 0 new cast-ons, which feels bad. It feels really bad. But yes, my FO is, I should get my sock blockers. Actually, 2 seconds. reason they're not on the blockers yet is because I've been using them. So only a little, so they don't look ratty or anything. They haven't been blocked either, so I just got them off the needles and straight onto my feet. But I'm going to show you the one in in the correct colours first, because if you watched last week's episode, you know I had a bit of a problem with how much yarn I had left. But this is my yoga sock that I made. I'm going to, yeah, I think this is kind of in focus. It's just a regular stockinette sock with pearl rose here and there for some texture, 1x1 rib here, there, there and there, with Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off and a stockinette bottom of foot. And this is the second sock, which has 2 yarns, because I ran out of this one. I thought this one, well, it should be fairly similar, but it isn't. But it's alright. I mean, they're cute, and I'm just going to use them at home like yoga, which I try to do every day, which is not a silly New Year's resolution. That's me actually trying to get my life in order. But yes, those are my yoga socks. These again have no pattern, but I could write this down and make a pattern out of it, because I am actually quite pleased with how they turn out, and I will be making more. So I think I might, and again, if you want to test knit, hit me up. But I cannot promise I'll write anything down anytime soon, just because of how life is at the moment. But yeah, socks for yogaing, and they work quite well, so happy with that. That is, I'm going to just put my fringe back because it's annoying me, what I have for knitting this week. Actually, that's all I have. So these past 2 weeks I have been working on, I got an art commission before Christmas, and I haven't taken commissions in a very long time. If you know me, if you've watched me for a while or followed me on Instagram and stuff, I collect, I can't see them, shit, sorry, My Little Ponies. Ah, crap. Ah, falling. There we go, and oop, and no. I shouldn't have done that. I think we're back. There we go. Yes, there we go. Hello again. If you've watched me for a while, you know I collect My Little Ponies, and I was commissioned to draw a pony, which I will put on the screen right here quickly. Her name is Inga. She's based on Swedish colours, like the flag colours and the Swedish phenomenon of fika, which is like coffee and bite to eat, a sweet bite to eat, and it's in this case a cinnamon bun, which is very traditionally Swedish. And the reason she's so Swedish is because she is designed to be the mascot for a pony convention that's going to be held this summer in Stockholm. So that was really fun, and yeah, I was really happy to do that. But I had issue after issue after issue with like my computer and my tablet and stuff, so it was very hectic because the deadline was like 2 days ago when I'm filming on Sunday, 2 days ago on Sunday, like last Sunday. So my computer broke, like I talked about last week, well 2 weeks ago, last episode. My computer broke, the graphics card just completely gave out, and my computer only did psychedelic colours. So then it took a long time for that new graphics card to actually arrive, because there was like a storm in Sweden. I live in Sweden, by the way, if you knew and didn't know, so in case you're confused. There was like this big storm and there were trees falling all over the place, and really, really, really windy after New Year's, and it took so long for this car to arrive. But then I finally got it installed and everything was fine with the computer, and then I sit down to actually draw this thing, and I mean it went really well with like talking to the client and stuff, but trying to line art that thing on my tablet is like... My tablet is nearly 10 years old, and I'm not talking about a iPad sort of tablet, I'm talking about like a Wacom drawing tablet for the computer. So it's really old, it's almost 10 years old, and lines go when you draw them. It's like, I have a steady hand, I draw a lot by hand and I don't get wobbly lines, but on that tablet every single line is like so I have to go over everything, like zoom in and just correct everything, because for the kind of line art I didn't want to use the line tool, so it was a bit of a struggle, but I like how it turned out and it was fun, and I'm really happy I got the honour to design this pony for this convention. So looking forward to going there and seeing it like in print and stuff, so that's fun. That's one thing I've been doing that's been eating a lot of my knitting time. I don't mind because work is work, right? Plus it was fun and I got to draw a pony, so but yeah. Another reason I have not been knitting is I've been like mentioning for a very long time now that life has been very hectic, and this has been a very difficult year, and things are a bit all over the place and up in the air and just generally difficult. And since this is actually coming up faster probably than we thought, we are going to be moving soon, and I'm going to like talk about that I think in a separate video, because like I used to have another channel and I plan to like come back to that one past last year and stuff, but I decided against it. But it's like I have a lot of followers on Instagram and it's not just for knitting. And I think I should make a video about this thing that's like separate from knitting content basically. But we will be moving from this house, don't really know when, because we might have something but we might also not have something, but that's the reason it's going to be a bit spotty with when I can get to upload, because I don't know what and how and when and stuff with like internet and somewhere to sit and film and actual knitting time. We are going to start packing for real now, packing everything up. I've got a bunch of stuff to try and sell and throw out, and it's going to be a bit of a doozy. I mean, reason it's been difficult, I'm just going to touch on it lightly, is it was kind of sprung on us last May, because something happened to our landlord, and they decided they need to sell this place, but they didn't know when they were going to sell it. And we got to extend, because this is like we're renting this place and have been for 4 + 1 month years, so it's been like extended on a monthly to 3 months basis, and it's been super stressful, and it's been difficult trying to get a loan because we were trying to buy our own place, but it just doesn't work out, nothing works out, and yeah, it's just been very hectic. Like me, I can't really do anything about my situation. I have my therapy, and that's about it. I can't do anything else until my mental health is a bit more stable, because I just can't go and work even if I would like to at the moment, because I just crash, and that's going to be less helpful than me doing what I'm doing now. So yeah, they didn't know until when we wrote our last contract for this place, which was in October maybe, and then no, November, I don't remember, but but yeah, then we wrote until the end of March, until my birthday, because that's a lovely birthday present, in it. But that's the period, time period we wrote a contract for. So in any case, we will have to be moved out of here by that day. But if I'm not going to jinx anything, but if we can, we will move sooner, of course. But it's been a lot of back and forthing about that, and trying to find something, and we've been to viewings and calling people and messaging people and talking to banks and stuff, and it's just been a very lot, and I haven't really had time to knit anything really, and that's why I don't have any new cast-ons. And this is again in very short form and very lightly put, because this has been incredibly difficult for me, and I've been very attached to this place, but now I'm feeling very, very done, because I mean, when you know you have to be out by a certain date, or when you know you have to be out but you don't know what certain date it is, it's like you just get over it before you're out of there, and you just want to get out of there in the end, and you start seeing everything that might bother you, that didn't bother you before you knew you were going to have to move, and it's been really, really bad for my mental health in many ways. So yeah, no, it is as it is, but that's life, isn't it? Stuff like this happens, so you just have to deal with it when it does. But yeah, that's about where my life is at. I have no new cast-ons, I have no stash enhancements, I don't really have any knitting plans except for the Maja's Mamelucca. I have a bunch of things in my 2019 queue on Ravelry, but I just don't really have yarn for it, and I have yarn that I don't have a project for, and I don't know what to do. So if you have any suggestions for what I should knit, please give me suggestions in the comments or in my Ravelry group in this episode's thread. Otherwise, yeah, I'll just get going with the packing. I will just get going with, well, as Dundenet puts it, life admin, because there's a lot of life admin going on at the moment. So yeah, that's about it for this episode. But yes, don't know how much I'll be able to upload in the coming weeks. Hopefully I can have a schedule of maybe every 2 weeks or something for a while, and then come back to knitting and posting weekly. But we'll see about that. I really don't know. I don't know what will happen now. But I will, if it's not a podcast episode, there will probably be a bit of an update when I do know. Because, yeah. Right now we're waiting on hearing back about one place, and it's nerve-wracking as nothing else, so I will probably post an update when I know about that place, and I will knock on wood because I don't want to jinx this. So yeah, that's that for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and yeah, again, if you have any suggestions for things I should knit or talk about or have a look at, or if you want to test knit something or tell me something or ask me, or I don't know, tell me about your day, or if you have been in a similar situation as I am right now, we can chat about it. So yeah, yeah, I will talk to you again as soon as I can. Don't know when, but hopefully soon. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode and have a wonderful, lovely weekend and week and maybe 2 weeks until I see you again, and cast on something fun, knit what you want to knit and craft something and just enjoy. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye!